and then COVID happened, and then Ben and Oliver started, making moves, like adding people to the band. And I was like, they would send me pictures of them rehearsing with other people. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I was in LA, and I just told my girlfriend at the time, like, I gotta go. I gotta get back.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How's it going, friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Of course. I'm Adam, and this is about you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about the band and the album and everything else you have going on.
Hell yeah, sounds good, man.
Cool, brother. So first off, I read that. Are you originally from Nashville? The band started in Nashville, right?
Band started. It's a long story. I'm from Kentucky, Muhlenberg County, John Prine's Paradise,
Oh, hell
Kentucky.
yeah, nice.
And it was around 2021 is when us as a five-piece kind of found each other in Nashville.
Okay, so you moved from Kentucky to Nashville before the band started.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the abridged version here.
Okay.
Isaac and Ben. Isaac's our guitar and synth player
Sure.
who is trying to. It looks like he's trying to get into the meeting. He might have joined. I will start at the beginning. Isaac is the guitar synth player. Ben is the bass player. They grew up together in Chihuahua, Mexico. Their parents
No
were
way. Wow.
missionaries, and so they grew up together essentially. And then when they graduated high school, they splintered off and went off into the U.S. And that's where I met Isaac. I met Isaac on the orientation of college at Western Kentucky University. It was the summer
Oh, wow. Okay.
classes had even started, and we were going to school for musical theater. And he would always work on music and would always tell me about his friend Ben, and who was really good at production. And we would just mess around. Essentially, we were both trying to do the acting thing for a long time, and lived in New York for a bit, and then we both lived in Memphis working for a professional theater there. And that's when we kind of lost the love for acting and musical theater and kind of just fell into this. We were just having a lot of fun making music, and I was singing and writing lyrics, and he's a multi-instrumentalist wizard. And so we both sucked at production, and so we would take our stuff to Nashville, drive from Memphis to Nashville, and work
Uh-huh.
with Ben on producing it. And that's when it kind of formed 2018 as a three-piece. And then we all just made the conscious decision in 2020 to move to Nashville and just give it a shot. We had no clue what we were doing. We didn't know anything about the industry or the business, but we just liked making music. So we
Yeah.
did that, and we wanted to play it live. And so we found Andres and Philip. Philip's our drummer. Andreas is our second guitarist and keyboard player. And we just hit the ground running from there. And we were looking in the van on the way to our show, and we were trying to find like when it actually started, because we couldn't even remember. And it was in May of 21 we played our
Wow.
first show.
First
Yeah.
show. Well, you guys have obviously had a ton of experience on stage. I mean, going from musical theater and acting and that world to, I think you watch your guys' live sets and it's insane. I mean, that coming out as a live band, I'm sure that was probably the easiest part for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a different, there's intense differences and intense similarities, and we tried to lean into the similarities of it.
Sure.
Which is like when crafting your set, you've got an hour, there needs to be a beginning, you need to set the tone. There's got to be a climax like 3/4 the way through, and then like a denouement at the end of it all. So that was always kind of fun. We've leaned into the theatrics, usually in matching uniforms, and just
Sure.
treating it like a show and not just five dudes on stage playing
I
playing
love that, and
songs.
I think that's such a huge thing that and not many bands do, especially or bands that are early on. It sounds like you guys have done that from the beginning. Like we're just
Oh
gonna
yeah,
this is it.
yeah. Give
Like
them their money's worth, you know.
yeah, I love it.
Hello.
I
Isaac, what's up, brother? Sorry, your name
What's
wasn't
up, man?
your thing.
Oh, no. We're all the same person.
I doubt it. Well, good to meet you, brother. Well, yeah, we just kind of
Good to meet you,
get
man.
yeah, your guys' story as a band. Well, I'll ask you real quick, Isaac. So you grew up in Mexico? Were you
Yeah.
one? Okay, so you grew up in Chihuahua, Mexico, and then you moved to the States.
Yeah. So me and Ben, who plays bass and does some like production work for us, I grew up with him. I've known him since I was like 11. His mom was was our fifth and sixth grade teacher, and yeah, we grew up in a evangelical Christian like mission organization,
Okay.
which is pretty weird. And then yeah, I graduated high school and then college. Literally, my first day of college is where I met Oliver,
hmm
and yeah, he kind of showed me the world. I was a very naive person, I would say.
I was gonna ask you about that as far as like music goes, and like how do you get into music as a kid, or are you only playing like you Christian music, or like how does that work? And like,
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, like I was only exposed to like Christian music growing up. So like, Switchfoot, that was my jam. But it was in college when I really started listening to bands like The National or like yeah, just bands outside of the religious world, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
uh-huh.
And that's something that I think Oliver and I bonded over because he grew up Jehovah's Witness. So just yeah, getting into the music world that's outside of our religious confines.
Sure. With that, like you moving here, like were you always interested in playing music, or you wanted to do musical theater also? It sounds like, or did you go for musical theater?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I started out as an English major in college. Met Oliver. He took me to my first like audition for theater. So I always danced around the major. I was never actually a theater major, but I was in musicals all the time. Oliver was usually like the lead, and I was usually like tree number two in the background. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. But I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about how musicals were written mostly, which was kind of what I nerded out about. And I actually wrote one musical in college, but that I think that translated a lot into like how we yeah, like what we were saying, like developing the live show and like there's character arcs, there's themes, there's like I want songs, there's like how do you place these songs in an order that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you guys like for the album, when you write like the new album, was it thought of that way too, or is it totally different? Like, do you think of it as like, okay, we got to tell the story, or there's characters throughout the
Yeah.
album, or not at all?
Well, it's interesting because we went in thinking we were going to do a quasi concept album, and we
Okay.
left with a completely different idea. And I think you always have something in your head, and then the music and where it goes and the lyric changes. You slowly start to realize. I think just being open to being like water and letting it all move around you and not fighting anything that feels right, I think is the way to go. But we always aim, with that lens of it's more than just songs, or stories
Mhm.
within a songs, but there's a bigger picture within all that.
But it ended up not going that route.
No,
It
it
didn't
took
fully tell a full story when she finished, or in the
it's
way you.
in the way of like a concept album.
Yeah.
It didn't do that, but I think where we landed is stories that are just more grounded in reality in the world that we're in, and an authenticity that I think our theatrics kind of shy away from sometimes, or we keep authenticity or like vulnerability, I would say,
Mhm.
at arm's length, because we're playing these characters, or
Sure.
I'm an alter ego on stage. I'm not a crazy guy in the gas station, you know, I just a guy, you know. So I think it was a fun exercise and a challenge to kind of rise above that and just get down to what are you actually saying, you know, in the song. And Eve Rothman was the producer on that. He was a great, you know, kind of ringleader of that circus for those 3 weeks in LA that we were tracking out there. He kept us honest and on track and under budget, so that's good.
There you go. I love it. So you it sounded like 2020 you all decided to move to Nashville and really take the band seriously. Like, was there like a milestone or something that occurred that made you make that decision, or like were you just over the whole theater thing and you're like, this band, we can make this band work? Or did you have a song that people were giving you a lot of praise on? Or like what kind of really, like you just decided to pull the trigger?
It was, I mean, for me, I think Isaac and I were on different paths at that time, but I was so done with musical theater and basically the idea that you have to wait. You go to countless auditions and you're waiting for permission to do your job. You're waiting for somebody to be like, okay, you sound right, you look right, you fit the costume. And now you do it, and you do it for 2 months, and it's great. And then you're back to
trying to find the next thing,
and you're trying to find the next thing.
Yeah.
And music, to me, whenever I felt inspired, I could write a song. You know, whenever and that's obviously grown to where it is now. Whenever you want to play a show, just make it fucking happen. Sorry if I can't cuss.
Oh, you can cuss.
Okay, great. Just make it. Just make it happen, and it puts the power in you as the artist to. Yeah, I guess you could say the same for theater. You can write your own thing and host your own show, but that's it was more soul sucking than it was giving.
I can't imagine the amount of people you have to get involved with that, and where you guys can get together and just
do it. And it felt right. It felt right at the time.
Yeah, the timing felt good. The band was always kind of like this casual thing, I think, for us. But I mean, I started working on another musical project and was out in LA. And I mean, it was fulfilling, but I was doing like corporate gigs. So, you know, playing for suit and ties that didn't give a shit about what you were doing. So like the band was really calling me back in my mind. I was like, damn, I feel like I'm not in the right thing right now. And then COVID happened, and then Ben and Oliver started, you know, making moves, like adding people to the bands. And I was like, they would send me pictures of them rehearsing with other people. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I was in LA, and I just told my girlfriend at the time, like, I gotta go. I gotta get back. And I did. And I think it was
we would write songs, Ben and I, and bring them to a production fruition. Be like, this is the one that's going to make guys move. This is this is going to be the one.
It works
eventually.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so then you eventually move to Nashville, and then that's when the band starts. And you talked about playing your first show in 21-ish.
I think.
Yeah. And then from there, was it just you just kept playing around town? I'm close to Nashville. I live south, like Thompson Station area.
Okay.
But I'm from San Diego, so I know the move from LA to Nashville.
It really all just again, we knew nothing about how any of this. We didn't know how to book a show. We didn't know what anything meant, that what we were doing. But it just all kind of happened rather quickly, where we played it was a New Faces night at the OG basement.
Okay.
And that's like 4 bands. You get 20 minutes, and it's a free show, and you're just cycling in and out. But Micah Grimes, who owns Grimy Records in the Basement East, was running the sound that night. and the man was just enthralled with what he saw. And so, you know, it grew from that to the OG Basement headline. They did a Free Friday thing outside, the Tomato Fest, supporting the Basement East slots, headlining Basement East. He was very instrumental. Gil and Grimy both were instrumental in just having footholds for us in Nashville.
Yeah.
And we just haven't stopped.
Yeah, I mean, from there, do you start like trying to play outside of Nashville? I mean, obviously you build the fan base here, but outside of that, I mean, you signed to Warner Records. I mean, you guys have accomplished so much, and just getting from Nashville, getting success in Nashville itself is huge and hard to do with the amount of talent and people here. But then taking it to the next level, like, how do you go from, you know, just playing East Nashville to getting the deal?
You literally just do it.
You just do it, dude.
I mean, it was crazy. You know, we were playing our first out of town shows, I think, in like Atlanta, and like Nashville is a great hub for, you know, the Southeast market. You can kind of bop around in that way. And so Phil, our drummer, had worked as a booking agent, and so thank God he knew how to reach out to people. He knew what a hold meant. He knew how to, you know, orchestrate these things to get us. And, you know, playing to 20 people in Atlanta turned into 40 people, turned into 100 in Charleston. And, you know, I think the live show being what it is, a focus of ours, we just literally had to get in front of people to do it.
And we kind of learned how to be a self-sustaining business model in a lot of ways, like with the booking of the shows. And then Ben, he's worked on the road before, so he knew how to tour manage us. And we all kind of were able to take on these roles that usually you hire outside sources to do. And I think that, and everyone was pretty good at their job. So I think that really kind of helped us move to that next level of creating value for ourselves. That I think that's like the missing piece, I think, with a lot of bands, however good they are. Like, how can you know, be a working machine within the band?
Yeah. Well, I think what you guys did is so cool, and like it's like traditional if you were a band in the 90s to, like, you know, get the songs, get the live show, and then go out and play to 20 people in Atlanta and then 40 next time. And that grassroots way to do it is just, it's so different now, because somebody could get a TikTok hit for 2 minutes and then get everyone on their face, and then they're on the show and maybe 5 people show up, because just streams and stuff don't turn into ticket sales. I think what you guys are all doing is the way to really build a true fan base.
Like longevity in that way. I totally agree. And, you know, maybe things would be different if we were good at TikTok, but we are all individually so terrible at social media. We try, you know, but we're definitely not in our early 20s. I think I mean, we opened for Rainbow Kitten surprise in the spring, and I think that was important for our manager to see, you know, the label to see the, you know, the merch sales afterwards, and just the lines that we had. It's just, if we can, you know, get in front of people, then I think we have a way of connecting to not even a specific genre of music, not even a specific demographic or age group. It's just, I feel as though our message of community is inclusive to everyone from, you know, 8 to 80. It's a universal experience, and I really love that, and we strive to expand that every show, whether there's 10 people there or 3,000 people there.
Yeah, I love it. And you guys you're on tour now, right? You're playing LA tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we're in Isaac, where are we?
Seligman, Arizona.
Oh,
man, Arizona.
The
beautiful.
home of Route 66. Yeah. Yeah. But we've been driving from Hickory, North Carolina, which has been quite the drive. But we'll get into LA tonight, and then.
Oh man! So you're in Arizona now from North Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The routing was a little weird this one.
But you know, I think we're doing a good job at staying sane and finding that we've got it down to a pretty nice routine now. There's not a lot of question marks of where we're staying. Shout out Ben, our TM and bass player and production wizard. So it's kind of just like punching into work to get to the show. And then you get
Nice. Yeah, you're playing. You have some really cool venues on this tour. I saw.
Yeah, the Echo.
Yeah,
Echo. Been wanting to play that one for a while, so that's exciting.
Right on.
a lot of first markets for us too. You know, Nashville is good for that southeast loop
Sure,
and the northeast, but it's hard to cross that great divide. You know.
Yeah, I mean brick and mortar in that. I mean, you're playing San Francisco and the Mercury Lounge in New York. I don't know if you played there before, but that's closer.
Played there
to us,
once
but...
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What about new music? I mean, the album didn't come out. It came out this year, but are you guys working on new stuff? And you just did that Audio Tree thing, right, for Spotify?
Yeah, we did the Audio Tree. We just wrapped the second album tracking.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. That's the one with Eve Rothman and out of LA. We literally left almost a month in the studio, got back, drove to Buffalo, played a festival, came back, and now we're on this tour. So
oh my gosh,
when we it's just it just feels like it just keeps going, which is good. These are good things. But so we've got a new album. Can't say when it comes out, not because of a secret, because I just don't know. But
we don't know. Yeah.
Can you talk about it? Did you go in as a concept this time as well?
Well, that was maybe I mixed the wires then earlier. Vacation, the album that came out in February,
this year.
We definitely went in as a concept, and this one we recorded. We went in with a whole sheet going in as a concept, and that's the one that changed. By the end.
So vacation went in as a concept, and that ended as a concept.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And then this one.
For this one, we had a concept, but all the songs that worked with that concept ended up getting cut. So then we were like, well, I guess the concept is no longer the concept. Yeah. But it definitely helped to have. Yeah, it helped to have that in our minds, because at least it gave us some kind of direction. At least you're trying to say something, and then in that process, maybe it changes, but at least you're in it now. Which sometimes the hardest part is just to start, Oh,
I bet, yeah. So so the new album is this one. Okay, now I got you. I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it's a fun. We definitely played with more organic sound, more acoustics, and like live aux percussion, and kind of just melding the worlds. We're known for like synth. Synth kind of action and electronic drums and stuff like that. And it was a fun. That was probably the coolest thing about the whole thing, was just learning how to make the two work together, and in a very like, Flaming Lips, Yoshimi Battles kind of way,
Rad. Oh, sorry, we're gonna ask something, Isaac. Sorry.
I was our main challenge and project, at least me personally, is just how to blend the worlds of like shoegaze with like disco dance, and like get people crying while also dancing and staring at their shoes. So I think we did a better job of it with this record. It definitely feels a bit more sober than the last record, and a bit more mature. I would say a little darker, but like I still at the same time more full of hope than I think the last record. So we're all really, really stoked on these songs, and yeah, can't wait for them to be out in the world.
Are you playing any of them on the road?
No, that was the. I think we sneak like 5 minutes. We're opening on this tour, so we get like 5-10 minutes of a sound check usually, and so we're trying to sneak in little practices. Again, we left the album to then go on straight to this tour, so there hasn't been a moment to really like reflect and fine tune. But no better time to practice than in front of people is my philosophy. So we're definitely striving that by the end of the tour we can get a couple of them on their feet.
I love it. Awesome. Well, I appreciate both of you doing this today. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I do have one more question. I want to know if I can get an answer from both of you too. If you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Aspiring artists. Yeah, I would go back to just do it, make it happen. It's such a wild west in the music world with the advantages and disadvantages of social media, but just find your community wherever you are, whether that's 5 people or 500 people. Find that community and make it happen.
I would say basic, but like no one else is gonna want it as much as you are, and so many people are gonna promise you things that if you leave it in their hands it'll get taken care of, and it either is never taken care of or it's done in a way that is just not what you resonate with. So just do it yourself as much as you can. And if people help you, that's awesome, but you can't expect them to want it as much as you do or care as much about it as you do.